welcome back to another Tuesday Tips and Tricks. Today we are going to show you a couple of different ways that you can clean out your little wax tart warmer bowls. We have 3 different types of wax warmer bowls here. 2 of them actually are ceramic, and then we also have this cute little cast iron skillet. So we're going to try 3 different methods, and this is also something you can definitely share with your customers, but I know everybody kind of has their own way of doing this, but there may be a way that we show you today that you were unaware of. So the first one that we're going to do, we need to go ahead and take it away here, but we are going to go put this little guy in the freezer for several minutes. And what this is going to do is help this wax just shrink up and pull away from the sides of the little bowl, and we should be able to just pop it right out. So I'm going to go put this in the freezer really quick. Okay, so for this first method, you would use this little tip if you had your warmer going in your house or your office, wherever, and the wax was already melted, as you can see here. And this is probably a trick that most people know, but all we're going to do is just take some tissues, or some people like to use cotton balls or even just super absorbent paper towels. And all we're going to do is just soak up the wax using these tissues. And this should make it pretty easy just to clean it all out, and just keep using a couple of tissues until it is completely absorbed. So most of that is cleaned up there. I'm just going to use a couple more here just to get that last little bit out. All right, but as you can see, my little skillet here is now perfectly clean and ready for me to start my next wax tart. Okay, so for this next method, I'm going to show you a couple of things actually. As you can see, my wax is still completely solid. It's not melted. And there's a couple of different ways that obviously you can do this. If you have turned off your warmer and your wax is completely solid like this, if you don't want to wait, for the wax to melt while it's sitting on the warmer, if you're a little bit impatient, or maybe you just want to get the next fragrance going or something like that, you can use a heat gun, just like this one here, to melt the wax. And this would also work for the method that we just used with the tissues. But I'm going to go ahead and just heat this up so I can show you the next way that we can clean this out. Okay, the first thing to keep in mind whenever you're using one of these warmers, if the wax is melted, this is probably going to be hot. So I'm going to make sure that I have something to kind of protect my hands from the heat that this is going to put off. But what we're going to do for this method is you can take a paper bowl like this, or a little paper plate, anything like that. Some people I've seen use aluminum foil, similar to disposing of like bacon grease. But all we're going to do here is take our little wax warmer bowl, and I'm just going to dump the wax into the bowl like this. And there's actually still a little bit left in there that hadn't completely melted from the heat gun, so I'm just going to touch that with the heat gun really quick. Okay, so the last little bit of the wax is melted here now. And again, I'm just going to take my tissues and just wipe it out really good. It's still pretty hot from the heat gun, but now it is good to go, and didn't take very long just to get that all melted up. So now I'm just going to wait for that wax right there to completely solidify, and once it's solid, I can just throw this in the trash can. Okay, so now for this last method, I've got my little bowl here. It's nice and cold, and I'm just gonna turn it over and kind of tap it off, and it actually just broke right off into my hand. You can see it's still nice and frozen. And then you can take a heat gun and just kind of clean this out, or if you want to take just like your fingernail or something and kind of scrape it, you can do that, or even put it back on your little wax warmer and just let that little bit of wax heat up and just wipe it out with a tissue. I do find that This method, by putting it in the freezer, really works the best for wax that's already completely solidified like this one. But if your wax is already melted, the other two methods work really, really great as well. Okay, guys, that's it for your Tuesday tips and tricks this week. Come back next time and we'll show you more.